All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So, Deep Purple is in the news, but it's the typical stuff. Richie Blackmore said some stuff, and Ian Gillan said some stuff, and David Coverdale said some stuff. And I don't know. Deep Purple to me reinvented themselves when Steve Morse became their guitarist. And at first, I was kind of skeptical. Their classic sound really sort of hinged upon Richie Blackmore's ability to write really big, outlandish riffs. Nobody's going to deny that Smoke on the Water isn't the greatest or one of the greatest guitar riffs really in rock history. I mean, if you're going to learn how to play a guitar, that might be one of the things you learn first because it's such a cool riff. And once you master that, you're going to think, this is one of the great songs of all time. And now I can conquer the world, right? Well, Steve Morse has done a spectacular job with this band. And what's weird is the rock media and the rock industry in general. You could say there's a war on Deep Purple. Yes, I think I've done the video already. But it's bigger than just, do we like Steve Morse or are we boycotting Deep Purple because Richie Blackmore isn't in the band? They keep asking the question to Ian Gillan, would you reunite with Richie Blackmore? And of course, the answer is no. He does say that the two have had some, kind or decent words back and forth where they're not throwing insults at one another. And then you've got David Coverdale out there who complains all the time about what happened at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Look, most of what happened at the Rock Hall of Fame has to do with the way the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does business. If you want proof of that, look up Steve Miller and his critique of the Hall of Fame. It's an epic video. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. I watch that. When I'm in a crappy mood, I'll go watch the Steve Miller video because that will help my crappy mood even be crappier. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm going to commiserate, I'll turn on the Steve Miller video just to watch him blast the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's very enjoyable for me. But in the case of Deep Purple, what seems to be going on is we're just going to ignore all this great music this band keeps putting out there. And it's late in their career. They had basically said that they weren't going to be recording anymore. And then this lockdown thing happened. And then I think they got back in the studio and they created another album. And I hear they're working on more music, which to me is fantastic. And it's all high quality. And they're writing about important topics. They're getting to be very curmudgeonly, if that's a word, in their later years here. And the writing reflects that. The playing is still spectacular. Steve Morse is still one of the greatest guitarists out there. He just is. He just doesn't get a whole lot of ink. And I don't know what it is. I guess because, he just joined the band and he's not a troublemaker and there's no drama. There are no medieval circumstances surrounding his life. Like I'm thinking of Richie Blackmore because he's such a strange and kind of weird, but interesting dude for sure. And I like Richie Blackmore as a guitarist. He is a great guitar player. But the band has opted out of the drama. They've opted out. They took in a guy, and a lot of bands will do this. Kansas, their lead singer, I hear, is a really easy guy for this band to get along with. Now, I'm not sure if he's the perfect guy for that job, but they opted for someone who wasn't going to create tension or drama. Here's a guy we can go out to eat with, right? And enjoy a few drinks after the show, and he's just not a loose cannon or he's not a recluse. In the case of Deep Purple, it seems, though, that the media is only interested in the drama that surrounds Deep Purple and has not paid a lot of attention to the great music this band has made without Richie Blackmore. I mean, Morse has been in the band since 1994. So maybe you should kind of recognize some of this music the band makes, and they do for about a week or two. They do. And again, you're not getting radio support here in the United States, even though all of this stuff would fit perfectly even on the dark web of what I call mainstream rock radio today. I mean, it would be a nice breather to hear somebody who would sing lyrics that are intelligible and that are interesting, and to hear a guitar player who isn't playing the same, 2 or 3 chords over and over in slightly different configurations. I mean, Steve Morse is a beast. All right. He's just a beast. There's some jazz fusion going on there. There's some bluesy stuff. I mean, the guy is just incredible, and he just doesn't get the accolades he deserves. So anyway, if you're going to get in the news and you're going to talk about Deep Purple, it's probably going to be related to Richie Blackmore and Ian Gillan. But Gillan says that, it's over, that he and Blackmore communicate through proxies, and he says that he sends kind words to him and Blackmore sends them back. So I don't really even think there's a story there. David Coverdale, again, he's still fuming about the Hall of Fame, but so is Steve Miller. In any event, that's my video on the topic. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smack that bell if you want notifications on new videos. And Patreon, folks, for $1 a month. A lot of new patrons coming on board, because I'm talking about all kinds of things now, and who'd have thunk it, right? Just it's what I do. So thanks again.